Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back to the class of mathematics. So today we are going to learn and revise the concepts of trigonometry and further trigonometry. Trigonometry and further trigonometry. So basically, when we start talking about trigonometry, it's basically a combination of three words: tri, gon, and matron. Basically, tri is three, gon is sides, and matron is measure. So when we study about the measurements of three sides, including with the angle, then it is known as trigonometry. Because trigonometry tells us the relation between the lengths and the angles of them. Trigonometry basically applies on right angle triangle like this, where one part is a pure right angle triangle. And if I name it as A, B, and C, so you can see that this side becomes A, this side becomes B, and this side becomes C. According to trigonometry, when a angle is here, it is generally known as theta, and side opposite to theta is known as opposite. This side is known as adjacent, and this side is known as hypotenuse. Usually, we represent all these things like this, but when the theta comes over here, now this side becomes opposite, and this side becomes adjacent, and this side hypotenuse remains the same. In order to find out any of the side in trigonometry, we apply the Pythagoras theorem, which is known as hypotenuse square is equals to perpendicular square plus the base square. And in order to find out any of the angles, we apply the general technique of saw, ra, tua, where S is sine opposite upon hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite upon adjacent. So we normally use these relations, these ratios to find out any of the unknown angles. Besides this, we work on the area, and it is usually half into base into height. We talk about half into base into height if we find out the area of this whole particular right angle triangle. Two more things are angle of elevation, which is equals to angle of depression. And how do we learn about them? Suppose if you are looking at this tall window, tall building from here, and ultimately you will have some distance and you are looking at the top of it. So the angle which is now being constructed with your eye is known as angle of elevation. You are here and you are looking at the top of the building. So it is the angle of elevation. Similarly, if someone is standing over here and looking at you, then this is known as angle of depression. So this is known as angle of depression. When someone from the top looks at you and you from the downward side looks at that person, so you make an angle of elevation and he or she makes an angle of depression. So similarly, you can see that these two lines are parallel. So you can see that a Z is constructed in between. So that's why this angle of depression is always equals to the angle of elevation. So we find out the questions on them and we when we see that we have to find out any unknown length, we apply this Pythagoras theorem. And when we see we need to find out any unknown angle, we apply this SOHCAHTOA. So after that, what else is here? Now, if we now start talking about this further trigonometry concepts. So further trigonometry, it starts when there is no right angle triangle. It means when there is no right angle triangle, further trigonometry starts. This is a triangle. And when it transforms into a non-right angle triangle, like this, a non-right angle triangle. This is known as a right angle triangle. And this is known as a non-right angle triangle. So what happens usually when non-right angle triangles are here, things are a little changed. Now ABC is the same, even A, B, C is the same, but no angle will form for 90 degrees over here. That's why students become a little confused at how to solve these type of figures. A non-right angle triangle can be of any shape. It can be an acute angle triangle. It can be an obtuse angle triangle. It can be an isosceles triangle. It can be any sort of triangle, but we need to find out that how to solve the questions on them. Like for the angle conversion, like if they have given us this angle and they ask us that find out this angle, then there is a conversion for them, and that is the formula that sine theta is always equals to sine 180 minus theta is the conversion of acute to obtuse or obtuse to acute angle. Then cos theta is always equals to minus cos 180 minus theta. Tangent theta is not included in our CIE syllabus, so we do not write the formula for that. Soon after that, when you convert these angle conversions, then they ask you for the area of non-right angle triangle, and the area of non-right angle triangle can be written in the way that if, let's suppose, they have given us this figure and they have marked us this side. This side is mentioned and this side is mentioned, and they have given us this included angle. So if I name it as A, B, and C, and I name it as A, B, and C, so the area of the triangle becomes half. Now, we are not going to write base into height. We are going to write like half A into B and then sine C. This is the formula. The next formula can be generated like half into A into C into sine B. And last but not the least, if I have to write the formula of area, that is half into B into C into sine A, where these capital letters will denote the angles and these small letters will denote the sides. So you need to see that which formula is applicable when such figure is mentioned. So we can write the formula this one, half into B, half into B into A, this one. Sorry, not this one, not the last one, but the first one, half into A into B into sine C. This is the most appropriate formula for this diagram. Then we study the concept of taking out any of the unknown side and angle, and there we study about sine rule. Sine rule says it's basically the combination of ratios. Sine A upon A is equals to sine B upon B is equals to sine C upon C, where again the capital letters will denote the angles and the smaller letters will denote the sides. So this is how we study about sine rule. Now for sine rule, look at it, what sort of things are mentioned when we apply the sine rule. Suppose if we have got this angle C and side C, and we have got this angle B as well, and we know we have to find out about side B, then we can apply this sine rule. You can see sine A upon A is equal to sine B upon B is equal to sine C upon C is mentioned. So over here, we put the value of angle C and sine C in here, and angle B and side B over here. We have to write just these two, sine B upon B is equal to sine C upon C, when we are finding out this unknown side B. So if we have this angle A as well, and we need to find out this side A, then again we can apply sine A upon A, and we can compare it to anyone. If we have got this side B as well, then we can compare it to sine B upon B. Or if we do not have sine B or side B, then we can compare it to sine C upon C. It means sine A upon A will be equal to sine C upon C. So this is how the formula it works. Now, furthermore, then you study about the cosine rule. What happens usually in cosine rule, we'll see it in a figure, that if a non-right angle triangle is mentioned and we name it as A, B, and C, and this side A, B, and C, and now the situation is different. We have got this side, we have got this included angle, we have got this side. And now we need to find out this unknown side. Now we cannot apply the sine rule over here. As you can see, we cannot apply sine rule here. So we are going to apply cosine rule over here, which says if you need to find out B, so make it a B square and write it as B square is equals to A square plus C square minus 2AC cos B. This is how the cosine rule works. Now suppose A side is missing, so we are going to write the formula in this way: B square plus C square minus 2BC cos A. Now suppose C side is missing, so we will find the formula as A square plus B square minus 2AB cos C. Now we can find out any of the unknown angle if all three sides are mentioned. Let's suppose this is the figure in which A, B, and C is here. A, B, and C. All three sides are mentioned, and we need to find out any one of the unknown angle. Then it is very easy to find it out from the cosine rule. So the formula for cos A becomes cos A is equals to B square plus C square minus A square upon 2BC. And then in order to find out the value of A, we'll find out the whole answer of A, and we'll apply cos inverse of the answer, and then we get this angle A. So in the same way, cos B is equals to A square plus C square minus B square whole divided by 2AC. And in last but not the least, cos C is equals to A square plus B square minus C square upon 2AB. So we can find out any of the unknown angle using the cosine rule when all three sides are mentioned. All three sides are mentioned. Now, soon after that, after this cosine rule happens over here, then we study the concept of bearings. Then we study the concept of bearings. Now, bearings has three things. You need to see the north. You need to find out the north always. Then you always need to be in the clockwise direction. And last but not the least, write bearing in 3 digits. It's compulsory to write bearings in 3 digits. So this is how we study about the bearings. And then last but not the least, there comes the 3D shapes. When they ask us the 3D shapes, they ask us to find out the area, any unknown side, bearings, etc. Then we need to see that what technique is applied when we are going to find out any of the unknown thing in any of the 3D shape. So now we'll find out some of the questions and then we are going to write them over here. I'm sure that whatever I taught here, you understood and you revised all the concepts. Now we'll go back, we'll be going to the question part where we are going to find out the questions and then we are going to uh, write them in front of you. So now you can see this question is here now. And they say that express the following in terms of the trigonometrical ratios of acute angle, hence find out their value. So if we look at this first question, sine 110 degrees, so we have got the formula. I already mentioned the formula, which is sine theta is always equals to sine 180 minus theta. And over here, we are going to put the value of sine 110. So we are going to find it like sine 180 minus 110. And sine 110 is equals to sine 70. What is the meaning of it? The thing is, they have asked us to find out the acute angle, and we have found out an acute angle over here. You can see. Now, the thing is, when you put the value of sine 110 in your calculator and sine 100 and sine 70 in your calculator, you will be amazed to see that both of them have got the same value. This is 0.939 and this will be 0.939. So the thing is, an acute angle of a sine is always equals to its obtuse angle. Sine 110 degrees is always equals to sine 70 and technically their values are same. And if we go for a question of cos here, then you can see then cos 175 and the formula for cos is cos theta is always equals to minus cos 180 minus theta. So cos 175 is equals to minus cos 180 minus 175 and you will see that cos 175 is equals to minus cos 5 degrees. So guys, what is the meaning of it? The meaning of it is quite simple. If you find out the value of cos 175 and it's going to give you the value in the negative form, that 0.99 is here, 996 if you, and if you find out the value of minus cos 5, it will be the same, minus 0.996. You can do this in this way as well, that put the minus sign as it is and try finding cos 5, cos 5. So it is going to give you 0.996. So ultimately both the sides are equal, balance themselves with the minus sign. So over here, this question was to be solved like this. Now, the thing is, these type questions, they come in paper 2 just because of this, if you are finding out this value, and paper 1 when you are finding out till here. So the thing is, now the next question, it says, the next question from the exercise, it says like this, and I'm going to show you another question of it, and it says, look at it. Find an acute angle whose sine is this. Then if we take any one of the questions from this, then we need to start it like, let sine theta is equals to 0.3456. We'll start the question like this. Let sine theta is equals to this, and then putting the theta over here and sending sine in as in over there at the other side, it is going to become sine inverse, and sine inverse of 0.3456 is 20.2 degree, is a 20.2 degrees. So we can see over here, this is an acute angle. They were demanding the acute angle and whose sine is, so we started the question like, let sine theta be this, and then acute angle of sine is this. So similarly, if we see that, okay, instead of sine, cosine is mentioned over here, then what to do? Then I will take out a question for you guys, and we'll see that what sort of question it becomes when they ask us about the cosine one. And the question is here. Now, the question is here. Find an acute angle whose cosine is this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the same thing. Let cos theta is equals to 0.985. And again, theta remains as it is over here. Cos inverse, cos shifted to the other side, and it becomes cos inverse of 0.985 is always a 9.93 degrees. 9.9 degrees. You can see that we have converted both of them. Now, if we go to the other part of it and we find out a different question. Now you can see that I am now taking this question here. Now you can see another question is here, and it says, given that x is greater than 0 but less than 180 degrees, and you need to find out the angle of them. So again, this is the same thing, that sine x, if it is 0.4712, then I'm going to write it as x is equals to sine inverse and 0.4712, And when I put it in my calculator and write out 0.4712 and close the brackets, it is going to give me the answer that x is 28.1 degrees. Similarly, if I take a question of cos x is over here, it says minus 0.5236, and I'm going to write x is equals to cos inverse and then minus 0.5236. And when I put it in my calculator and it says minus 0.5236 and I close the brackets and it says the answer is 121.5 degrees. Now, guys, what is the difference? The thing is, they have given us the range over here that x should be greater than 0 but less than 180 degrees. So when sine angles they come, so we are going to subtract it from 180 and it is going to be like uh, 151.9 degrees. So in sine, when the question is of sine, we are going to find out these both angles. But when they ask us the question of cos, then this is our answer. We are not going to find out their acute angles. So we'll remain finished over here that in sine, we'll find out both the angles, but in cos, we are going to find out just the answer of the question. We are not going to convert them to the acute angles. Okay? Now, the next question, it says, G. The next question is now here. Yes. So these type of questions, which I'm going to copy and paste in front of you guys, they are known as a little brain teasers. No, look at them. Now look at them. The thing is, they say taking sine 45 and cos 45 to be 0.7 each, find the value of this. Now this is purely a paper one question. So how to solve such type of question? Over here, we see that in part A, it says 2 cos 45 degrees plus 3 sine 135 degrees. And we are going cos 45 value is mentioned 0.7. Do not put it in the calculator, otherwise it is going to give you 0.707. And over here, we need to consider this as a paper one question and we need to write this value only 2 into. And over here, you already know that we have studied a formula of sine theta is equals to sine 180 minus theta. So when sine 35 is converted, it becomes sine 45 degrees. So 2 into 0.7 is 1.4 plus 3 into 0.7 and 1.4 plus 2.1 is purely a 3.5 degree. Why did we convert this sine 135 to sine 45 degrees? Because they have given us the value of sine 45 and cos 45 only. That's why we converted sine 135 to sine 45 degrees and hence we found out the value. If we look at the B part of this question, it says 3 cos 135 degrees plus 4 sine 135 degrees. So now guys, be very careful. 3 into cos 135 is always equals to minus cos 45 degrees. Be careful. Again, I said that, and it becomes this. Why minus cos 45? Because you know that the formula of cos theta is always minus cos 180 minus theta. And when you put cos 135 over here, so you will see that what is happening, and cos 135 is a minus cos 45 degree. So that's why I asked you to be very careful. And now 3 into minus 0.7 plus 4 into 0.7, and this is going to be minus 2.1 and this is going to be plus 2.8, where the ultimate answer is 0.7. So hope you understood it. Hope you understood it. So now, without wasting our time, we are moving forward to the next exercise. So this was basically the questions from 11A exercise from further trigonometry, and I gave you the questions over here like this. And now the next part is we need to find out the area of the non-right angle triangles. So for that, we are going to take a question from the exercise, and then we are going to find out the area of that particular figure. How do questions they happen? So for that, I am going to take a question, and you will see that how to find out the area of such figures. Now, suppose this is a figure in front of you guys. I should enlarge it a little uh, like this. And now you can see that this is a figure where N, LMN is a non-right angle triangle where two of the sides are mentioned, and we need to find out the area of this particular figure. So for area, we know this thing that this N, okay, this is a small n, this is the small L, and we do not have M. We do not have M. So the thing is, if we apply the formula of area, two sides and their included angle should be mentioned. We can see that this side is mentioned, this side is mentioned, but their included angle is missing. So what are we going to do? We are going to take the help of Mr. 57 and 62 in order to find out this particular angle. So what are we going to do? Before area, we need to find out angle M. And angle M, I'm finding it out over here. So angle M is like 180 minus the sum of 62 and 57. So it is going to be 182 minus 9, and this is 11, and this is going to be 1, and this is going to be 61 degrees. Let me cross check it with my calculator. 62 plus 57, and yes, 61 degrees is the angle. So now we have degrees over here. Now I can apply the formula very easily. Half into L into N into sine M degrees. So I'll put the values half, L value is 10, N value is 12, and sine 61. So now I can cross cut it like this. 12 5s are 60, and 60 into sine 61, and I can find it out with my calculator. 60 into sine 61 is 52.45 centimeters square. As in all lengths were given in centimeters, so the area formula is going to become 52.45 centimeters square. And this is how we find out the areas of different figures. Let us take another example of the area-based question over here. A little complicated question, but not impossible. So if you guys concentrate a little, you can find out that what exactly is the demand of the examiner. And for that, I am I'm pasting here a question from the exercise, which exactly looks like a past paper question. So you can see it over here now that ABC is a triangle in which AB is 40 centimeter, BC is 80. And now whatever is mentioned, I am going to write it over here. By it says AB is 40, and I know this thing. Now they say BC is 80, and I'm going to write like this. And ABC over here, this angle is of 30 degrees, and that is been mentioned. And they have said that this XY is basically an arc of the circle. with center B, and radius is 10. It means this nano part which is mentioned over here like this, and the radius is 10 and the radius is 10. It's a little cone. It's known as the minor sector, and we need to find out the area of triangle ABC. So the thing is, guys, area is quite easy because I know half into 80 into 40 into sine 30 degrees. So without using calculator, if you do not want to use the calculator, you should know that sine 30 is always 1 upon 2 or 0.5. So this is like this, and then two ones are and two 40s are, and 40s are 1600 into 0.5. Into 0.5 means you need to half of, make it a half, and now we have got the area of this particular figure, that is 800 centimeters square. This is 800 centimeters square. Now they have asked us to, this is question number A part done. This was the A part of this figure. And in order to find out the B part of it, we see that the area of the shaded portion. So area of the shaded portion is like, we have the area of the whole figure. And if we find out the area of this nano part, okay, so we can find it out. We can find out the area of the shaded portion. So now in order to find out the area of this part, how many of you know that the area of such figure is known as theta upon 360 multiplied by pi r square? This is the formula in order to find out this nanoparts area, which has been mentioned over here. So the area is here. Now the theta you can see is 30. It is divided by 360. The value of pi is always 22 upon 7. They have given us the value of r. So when you find it out using the calculator, like 30 upon 360, and it's going to be multiplied by 22 upon 7, and then multiplied by the square of 10, and it's going to give you the value it's going to give you the value 26.19. Now you can see that 26.2 centimeter square is the area of this particular part. And in order to find out the area of the shaded portion, so we are going to write it like this. Area of the shaded portion is equals to area of whole figure minus area of non-shaded part, or we can write it as minor sector. So you can see when you subtract 826.2 and minus 800, and you will get 773.8 centimeters square is the area of this shaded portion. So hope you understood it, that how to find out the area of this shaded portion over here. Now we are going to move forward to the next part of our exercise, and that says after areas, uh, now we'll be finding out how to apply the sine rule over here. And now we are going to see, this is a question from 11C exercise, which I am taking over here, and it is over here now. You can see it a little enlarged, and it says in the triangle ABC, the question is like this. Let me write the question. In the triangle ABC, BC is 4.9 centimeters, AB is 9.1 centimeters, and angle B is 90 degrees. Find angle A, angle C, and the length AC. So, what are we going to do? We are going to draw a triangle over here, and we say that this is B is 90 degrees. So we can now write it as ABC. And now BC is 4.9 centimeters and AB is 9.1 centimeters. And we need to find out angle A over here first. So angle A can easily be find out using the SOHCAHTOA. And you can see that the opposite and adjacent are mentioned. So we can write it as tangent A is equals to opposite upon adjacent. And now tangent A, opposite is 4.9 and adjacent is 9.1. And now the value of A is tangent inverse 4.9 over 9.1. And we'll find out the angle A like this: tangent inverse and then 4.9 and then 9.1, and then I'll be closing the brackets, and it is going to give me 28.3 degrees. 28.3 degrees. This is how we find out angle A. Now, after angle A, they have asked us to find out angle C. And angle C is like when I'm having angle A at 28.3, like angle A plus angle B plus angle C is, I know this thing that is 180 degrees. So angle A is 28.3, angle B is 90, where I don't know about angle C. So this is it. So angle C is like 180 minus the sum of these two angles. And then it says uh, 180 minus 90 is 90, and 90 minus 28.3 is 61.7 degrees, and this is 61.7 degrees. So angle C is here, 61.7 degrees. And they have asked us to find out the length of AC now. Now, guys, you have got the value of this, the value of this, and how will you find out the value of AC? By using the Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem says hypotenuse square is equals to perpendicular square plus the base square. So hypotenuse is missing. When you find out the square of 9.1 and the square of 4.9, and you add them together and take out the square root, ultimately you will be able to find out the value of this hypotenuse. So this is how we work for them. For sine rule could not be applied in this question. So we are again hunting for a question where we can apply the sine rule easily. And yes, I have got a question for sine rule, and this is over here. Now, here, yes. Now this question says, wait a second. Question number 9, and it says find the area of triangle ABC if BC is 10 centimeters, angle A is 45, and AB is equals to AC. and we need to find out the area of this. So the diagram is drawn like this. A, B, and C, and they have marked us this as well, and this is 10 centimeters. So, guys, the thing is, we need to find out the area of this unknown thing where AB is AC, this thing. Now, we know this thing that these two angles are the same. These two angles are the same. So, we can find it out like we can find them out like this is 10 mentioned over here and this is 45. So if I subtract 180 and 45, I am going to get 135 and 135, and when I it by 2, I get it 67.5. It means this angle is of 67.5 and this angle is of 67.5. 67.5 degrees. Because this was an isosceles triangle, so they have mentioned it like this. 67.5 degrees is one of the angles. Now the thing is, I want to know any one of the sides over here. So what I can do easily is I'll apply the sine rule, and that is sine A upon A is equals to sine B upon B. So sine A is like sine 45 upon 10. Sine B is sine 67.5, and I'm going to find out this B. So how will I find out B? So B will be like sine 67.5 into 10 divided by sine 45, and now I'm going to find it out. It's like sine 67.5 multiplied by 10 and sine 45. Don't forget to close the brackets when you are putting the values in the calculator. Otherwise, be ready. The calculator is going to give you the maths error. So this is the B side, which is B side was this, and this is like 13.06, and this is like 13.06 as well. Now I can find out the area very easily. I can even apply the area formula over here. If I consider this as my angle and these two as my sides, even I can apply the formula of area considering these two as my sides and this is my angle. And even I can apply the area when these two sides are mentioned and my angle is this. So you see, guys, that finding out the area is that very easy. So I am using over here half into 13.06 and sine 45 degrees. So 13.06 multiply by and then multiply by 0.5 and then multiply by sine 45, and this is going to give me the answer, that is 60.36 centimeter square. So this is how you can see that we started our lecture with the basic thing, and then I tried to run very fast, but ultimately the time is getting over here now. So I am keeping my topic till here, that is the sine rule. In the next video, you will see that I'll continue with the cosine, bearings, and the three-dimensional shapes. So till here, the class is now ending. So take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.